JR, can you hear us?
Yep, loud and clear. Questions for Hami? If you guys go ahead and raise your hand, that would be great. We'll get started here momentarily, Hami. First one up, Joe Masato with the Oklahoman. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, Hami, how's it going?
What's going
on? Is it sort of crazy to think, given all that's happened in the past few weeks with the roster, that you're now returning as the longest tenured Thunder player?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just talking to a couple of the guys. I didn't even know that was a stat. But yeah, it's definitely crazy, but it's definitely an opportunity. And I mean, it's great to be that person, especially knowing what this program brings and knowing what this city's about and fitting all those characteristics and being able to do it on a day-to-day basis is pretty good.
How did you react to all of those deals, and what was sort of your mindset coming back this year with a new and almost completely different team?
I reacted to it. I mean, we had trades my first year and my second year, so I mean, I understand that is a part of business, and at the end of the day, all of us as players understand it as well. So, I mean, nothing changed for me. I mean, I was coming into the season, I mean, just working hard and trying to put everything to the side and just focus as much on becoming a better player that I can be.
Thanks.
Next up, Nick Gallo, OKCThunder.com. Go ahead, Nick.
I mean, you've earned your way into playing time each of the last 2 years. It looks like, there's even more playing time up for grabs this season. What has been your approach to those opportunities you've gotten on the floor, and what do you look to do now moving forward?
Just keep working. I mean, like you said, with year one and year two, I mean, everything is earned. So you just have to come in to training camp knowing that you're going to have to earn everything. You're going to have to come out here. You're going to have to work. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day, just getting better each and every day and showing to the coaches that you belong on the floor.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman.
Hey, Hami, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. Hey, you obviously got to work with Mark last year, and I know he's been around basically the whole time you've been a Thunder player. What's been your impression of his style as a coach? And we hear a lot about player development. Have you sort of seen that and his dealings with you? Can you kind of walk us through what that might look like on the inside?
Yeah, definitely. I would say first, Mark is just a great person. I mean, other than the coach, I mean, just speaking to him during my first and second years, I mean, he just knows so much about the game, and he's just a positive guy. I mean, he always picked me up when I was down. Every time I faced adversity, he was always by my side. I mean, whether it was sending me texts or whether it was just keeping me focused and keeping me level-headed and just making sure that I'm controlling the things that I can control. So I feel like as a coach, he's going to be a great coach. I mean, and I just can't wait to get it all started.
He's talked in the past about how he sees relationships as the start of any type of development he might work with a guy on. What does that mean when you've got a coach that takes that approach? How does that sort of help the process of then being the guy that might be helping you to, work on your shot or whatever? Like, how does that relationship add to things for you?
Relationships is big. I mean, it's everything. I mean, how you communicate, how you interact with a person is very big. I mean, and for you to have relationships with everybody is tough, but I mean, for you to try that's just a great thing about it. And having a coach that's willing to build relationships with each and every one of us, I mean, it's pretty great, and it's pretty awesome.
Hey, lastly, I know Mark kept a lot of the same guys, got some new faces too on the coaching staff, but what's that meant to have that mix of some new, but also some carryover from last year's bunch?
I mean, it's great. It's great. We get to keep the culture going, and there's guys that's been around and understand what this organization's about and understand what it takes day in and day out for us to keep turning that page and keep building on to the chapters that we're writing.
Thanks, Hami.
Definitely.
Next up, we're going to go to Andrew Schleck with The Athletic and Down to Dunk.
Hey, Hami, you worked with Chris Matthews over the offseason. What are some of the things that you worked on with him?
I mean, I worked with Chris pretty much on just shooting for the most part. And I mean, that's pretty much all I worked with him on.
Yeah. How do you feel like your progress is coming?
I feel like it's great. I mean, each and every year I've been getting better with it, and just got to understand that it's something that's going to keep getting better and something that keeps needing work. I mean, that's the first thing about working. You have to understand the problem before you can fix it. So, I mean, I'm just working at it, building confidence, and just pretty much it.
Yeah. Thanks, Hami.
Definitely.
Spinosi with the sports animal, you're up.
Hamidou, you talked a whole lot about development, a lot of questions about that. And so all of the time you put in, all the effort you put in to so many different things, what's the one thing, and it might just be as simple as like shooting threes, or it might be just understanding defensive principles. What's the thing that's most difficult to improve at? I mean, for you that you've just found not frustrating, but something you just have to work and focus so much harder at than anything else to improve on?
I would say nothing's really that difficult. I mean, to work at. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just so many things in the game that you'll be able to do. So if you know yourself as a player and you know what the coaching staff and the organization is going to want you to do on a day in and day out basis, and you focus on a couple of those things, I mean, nothing is really hard. I mean, it's all work. And that's the best thing about it. I mean, waking up every day knowing that you need to get better at something and you driving yourself. So it all just starts with your motivation. I mean, it all depends on how motivated you are. So I don't think anything is really that hard to get better at if you put your mind to it.
Thanks, Hami. A couple more for you here. Next, we're going to go back to Nick Gallo, OKCThunder.com.
Hey, Hami, something that Mark mentioned is just kind of the concept of positionless basketball, that, not every possession is going to start with a point guard walking the ball up the floor. How have you seen that over your years in the NBA, and what do you think that can do for your team just playing that way?
I would say it's great. Positionless basketball is the way that the league is going, and everybody being able to contribute on the offense and defensive end. I mean, defense is positionless as well, being able to guard multiple positions. And on the offensive side, being able to play multiple positions, being able to have your center start the offense, being able to have your wing start the offense. I mean, that's pretty much what the league is going to. So.
Thanks, Hami. Last one for you here. We're going to go to Joe Masato at the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Hami, basically back to what I was asking you at the beginning, like coming into year 3 now, do you feel just more comfortable as a player and maybe like using your voice as a leader? And is that more important now with so much turnover, since last season?
I would say definitely. I mean, just with the position that we're in, I mean, with all the guys that have left, that have been here for a long time, that laid the platform out and that showed us what it means to wear these jerseys and play for this amazing city. I mean, it's a tradition that you have to keep putting forward for the new guys. I mean, and just letting them understand what type of team you are, what type of organization it is, and just keep the same traditions going. I mean, it's going to be pretty big to have that because, like somebody said earlier, we still have a lot of the same staff in the building, so the tradition will stay the same. So it should be pretty great.
And if I could sneak one more in, you've obviously been around Shea for a long time, dating back to your college days. How do you anticipate him handling what will be his new role as kind of the primary guy on this team?
I think he'll be definitely ready. I mean, he's a guy that's going to stand up to any challenge, and knowing him for how long I've known him, I mean, he's going to be ready and he's going to be competitive, and we're all just going to be ready to compete.
Thank you, Hami. Appreciate your time today.
Definitely appreciate it.